I've been using Amazfit watches for many years, and each year the hardware and software improve while pricing for the watches remains affordable. I bought the Amazfit Balance late last year when they had that special edition color options, and it's been an outstanding, compelling smartwatch, especially for the low price that it was offered at, like $220. For the past month, I've been using the latest generation of rugged adventure watches from Amazfit, and it's definitely worth your consideration with a low price of just $280. Hello everybody, I'm Matthew Miller, otherwise known as Palm Solo, and thanks for visiting the Mobile with Matt YouTube channel. Please consider subscribing and leaving comments as I try to respond to all of them, and I love interacting with my viewers. I do have 25 plus years of mobile technology knowledge, and I should be able to answer your question. The Amazfit T-Rex 3 is available now in one color for just $279.99. The original T-Rex launched in 2020, with the T-Rex 2 released in 2022, and we see about a 2-year upgrade for the T-Rex line. There were also the T-Rex Pro and the T-Rex Ultra variants released in 2021 and 2023, but these were rather unique models with a few differences from the standard T-Rex line, and this T-Rex 3 continues that standard T-Rex line. Amazfit offers several models of watches, starting at just $80, with the T-Rex 3 serving as the rugged flagship. The Balance that I have is a sleeker, more elegant watch, similar to like a Pixel watch or a standard Apple Watch, while the T-Rex 3 is built for those who want a rugged smartwatch with the latest Zepp operating system. Before I share my experiences with the hardware, the software, and other experiences of the T-Rex 3, I wanted to make sure that you had the chance to go visit Dave at the Chase the Summit YouTube channel. Dave is a professional and a full-time YouTube creator that covers the mobile wearable space, and he has some excellent YouTube videos on the T-Rex 3 and the T-Rex 3 compared to something like the Garmin Fenix 8, which is a crazy comparison because the T-Rex 3 is priced at $280 and that Fenix 8 is over $1,000. But it's a very fair articles that he's been posting over there, and I really want to give him a shout out because that is a guy that is a true professional and covers these wearables in depth. What you're going to get from me are my personal experiences. You know, I have a full-time job as a professional engineer. I love and am passionate about wearables, and I like to share my thoughts and experiences with you. But somebody like Dave is somebody who does this full-time and takes these things to the limit, especially with him being an ultra runner, and he's going to give you those long-term running experiences. So for myself, let's start off talking about the hardware of the T-Rex 3. The T-Rex 3 is a big watch, measuring in at 48.5 by 48.5 by 13.75 millimeters, and as you can see on my wrist, it's perfectly a good fit because I have rather large wrists. And it's very, very comfortable for me, and it's a good fit for me. It is a larger watch, so if we're looking at larger watches, right, we've got the Apple Watch Ultra 2 that weighs in at 61.4 grams. The Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra that I took a look at a few weeks ago weighs in at 60.5 grams. And the Garmin Enduro 3, which I just purchased, weighs in at just 57 grams. The Amazfit T-Rex 3 weighs in at 68.3 grams, but it really doesn't feel that heavy with the weight distribution and the design that it has. You can see in the pictures and the videos that I have, it has a stainless steel bezel that stands out proudly on the front of the watch. And then the rest of the watch is a polymer case, right, with that stainless steel design element also found on the right side that has the Amazfit name stamped into it. The display is 1.5 inch diameter, and it has a very high resolution 480 by 480 pixels with a brilliant AMOLED display with Gorilla Glass. That display is capable of up to 2,000 nits of brightness, so you're going to be able to see that display in the direct sunlight. I'm down here in Colorado visiting my daughter at the moment, and I've been using it out at the pool and on a hike, and that display is easy to be seen even in direct sunlight. One cool feature that we've seen on a couple of other watches, right? Samsung first, I believe, no, Apple first, and then Samsung have this night mode or night display or something like that. And on both of those watches, it's red, which is perfect because when I was sailing on my Coast Guard cutters, we used red lighting on the bridge to help maintain your night vision because that red light wouldn't blow out your pupils and all that kind of thing. One cool feature of the Amazfit T-Rex 3 that I have not seen on any other watch at this moment is also the night display mode, but unlike the other ones, red is an option, but also orange and green. And personally, I've been using the green night display on the T-Rex 3, and I personally prefer the green, and it keeps my night vision intact. There are 4 hardware buttons on the T-Rex 3. There's 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So starting with the top right and moving clockwise, we have the select button, the back button, the down button, and then the up button. You can customize the single press and the press and hold of the select button, as well as long pressing of the up and down buttons. So you have 4 button customization options, which are really very useful. And I know Garmin does a lot of this button customization as well, whereas watches like the Google Pixel Watch 3 do not allow customization of those buttons. So that customization of the buttons gives you the opportunity to really make this device something for you and make it easy and efficient for accessing your favorite apps and utilities. So at first, I thought the silicone band that was included with the T-Rex 3, which is a very comfortable band and is long to fit big wrists, but I thought that was the only band option because as you can see when it comes off the lugs, it looks like it's very well integrated. However, what you'll find is in the box, you'll find a very small tool and 2 replacement lugs. So I undid the screws on both of those lugs and replaced those lugs, and now the watch is able to be used with standard 22mm bands. And if you go on Amazon or other places, Samsung, Garmin, wherever they sell 22mm bands, you can simply buy any 22mm band, use that quick release mechanism that's on those bands and use those. On the watch that I'm currently wearing, I actually bought the Amazfit Balance because it came with, I think it was the Woodland model, and it came with those nice fabric bands. And I've replaced the silicone band on the Amazfit T-Rex 3 with the fabric band from my Amazfit Balance, and any 22mm watch band will work when you replace those lugs. And it's wonderful to see Amazfit include those lugs capability and the tool to make it happen, so you don't need anything else. The T-Rex 3 is a rugged beast, right? It has a high level of water and dust resistance with 10 atmosphere rating, and similar to the Apple Watch and then now the Garmin Fenix 8, it does actually support some diving certifications. So the Amazfit T-Rex 3 supports free diving certifications, and I'll list those in my Substack article because there's 3 of those different ISO and EN and GBT standards that it certifies, but it's certified to 147 feet of free diving. Now, I'm not going to test that out. I was at my daughter's pool today at 4 feet, perfectly fine and capable. I'm not going to be diving to 147 feet to test that out, but to let you know, that is available on the Amazfit T-Rex 3. Continuing on with some ruggedness and durability, the watch is also built to withstand temperatures from minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty much anything that a standard human can withstand, the watch will be able to work. It does have a very large 700 milliampere battery. And that's one of the largest capacity batteries I've heard of in a smartwatch. I think the Galaxy Watch Ultra and the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro had a 590 milliampere battery. This one is 700 milliamperes, and it should last you for weeks, right? In the most accurate GPS mode, dual frequency, and multi-band, you'll get up to 42 hours of battery life. With the ultra saving mode, which is the minimal level of GPS tracking, up to 180 hours. So the battery is fantastic. And in my typical 2 to 3 days of running each week, usually a half hour to an hour of running, I throw in a hydro rowing session of 30 minutes here and there. I go walking with my wife and then some biking as well. I could go at least 2 weeks without charging the Amazfit T-Rex 3. So it is a long-lasting battery even with that brilliant AMOLED display. As I mentioned, the watch supports dual band frequency and all 6 global navigation satellite systems. In my test with Garmin, Polar, Coros, and other GPS sports watches, the T-Rex 3 has proven to be just about spot on with tracking. I don't push the limits, but when I do run, it's always in tree-covered areas, and I've seen very good GPS tracking. Unlike some other recent watches, namely the Pixel Watch 3 and the Galaxy Watch Ultra, the $279.99 Amazfit T-Rex 3 can connect to Bluetooth external sensors. There's no support for ANT+, but there is support for Bluetooth sensors, which include action cameras, heart rate sensors, power meters, speed and cadence sensors, and many more. That is something pretty incredible when two of the new flagship smartwatches cannot even connect to those external sensors, but the Amazfit T-Rex 3 can. The BioTracker PPG biometric sensor has been shown to be accurate when compared to other wrist-based heart rate sensors. You can also choose to broadcast that heart rate sensor to other devices, which is something that I do find useful on my Garmin watches when I'm biking, because it's much easier to have a watch collect your heart rate than send it to a bike computer or something else. In addition to heart rate, the sensors measure skin temperature, heart rate variability, and blood oxygen. There is no support in this watch for ECG or sleep apnea. That's to be expected from a watch that's $280 because some of those other functionalities like ECG and sleep apnea require regulatory approval from US authorities, and that's another cost that's going to go on top of that. So that's a look at the hardware. Let's talk a little bit about the software. So the Amazfit T-Rex 3 launches with the latest and greatest Zepp OS 4.0. It's installed by default, and that version of the OS comes with enhanced support for features like Zepp Flow, connectivity to external sensors that I mentioned before, and much more. Zepp Flow is powered by OpenAI's GPT-4o and provides a voice-activated assistant that uses natural voice commands and natural voice language to perform different functions, check fitness data, and even respond to messages when you're connected to an Android phone. You can speak to the T-Rex 3, but any data provided in response appears as text on the watch because the watch does have a microphone, but it does not have a speaker. There's a lot of utilities and apps on the watch, but Zepp Flow really helps you get to some of that key data. Because the watch is so powerful and has so many apps and utilities, I like asking the watch to show key data, like what's my heart rate, what's my blood oxygen level, what's my readiness number, how did I sleep last night, and more questions like that you can simply launch the Zepp Flow and ask those questions without having to go search through all the different menus and everything else to get that. There's also an offline voice assistant that's available for performing basic functions on the watch, but I honestly didn't find it to be very reliable. It wouldn't respond to me probably 2/3 of the time, and I found that to be a little bit more frustrating than manually looking up and changing those settings. So I would stick with the Zepp Flow voice assistant that connects via Bluetooth to your connected phone to provide that data and that connection. Just about every sport you can think of is supported on the T-Rex 3. More than 170 is, in fact, with support for customizing the number and the type of data that appears on the screen as you work out. Now, each workout and each exercise that you have, by default, when you first go into that, those are pretty much copies of each other and all the same. So you go in there and you can customize the data fields that appear, how many different data fields and data screens appear. Along with those 170 sports, there's even auto detection of 25 different activities. And the nice thing is I go in there and I like to customize my experience. You can have a virtual pacer, cadence assistance, auto pause and lap, goals, and different alerts. The workout experience is fantastic and highly customizable just to you. So you can personalize the watch as much as you want and get the power that you want out of that. A lot of the more basic watches like the Google Pixel Watch and even the Samsung Galaxy Watch do have limits on the data fields that are available, which is great for the majority of people. But if you're somebody who loves to look at all the different data and maybe you're training with power or heart rate at a different level or intervals and things like that, you can see that on the T-Rex 3. You'll see things such as VO2 max, running power, recovery time, training effects, and training load. They're all provided by the T-Rex 3, and they appear to closely match other watches that I've been testing that are priced 2, 3, or 4 times as much as the T-Rex 3. The T-Rex 3 also comes with Zepp Coach, and this is an AI-based training plan experience. So you'll see Zepp Coach on the watch or in the Zepp smartphone application and you launch it, and then you interact via chat with the Zepp Coach AI, and you answer a bunch of questions about your desired training plan, including what days do you want heavy runs, what days do you want to be rest days, and what's the distance that you're training for, how many miles do you want to run per week, all kinds of different questions. And then that training plan is created, and then that training plan is synced immediately to the T-Rex 3. And that plan will then adjust to your daily life, including your activity, your sleep, all of your other activity that isn't a workout activity as well. And then I've only just started a new training plan about a week ago, so I don't have much to say about the actual results from that training plan, but the setup was wonderful, and so far I like what the T-Rex 3 is telling me for each day. Now, I've mentioned this in reviews on ZDNet before. The Zepp smartphone application is extensive and exhaustive, and the interface has improved over the years, but it may overwhelm new users, so really take your time. At the bottom of the display, there's 4 different main tabs, and you can customize that home data screen, so it really only shows you what you need. There are also sleep, workout, and profile tabs, with that profile tab containing your devices and all of the settings available for your connected devices. So spend some time on those tabs, get to understand them and learn them. There's a lot there in the Zepp smartphone application. I've been using the Amazfit T-Rex 3 now for nearly a month, and I've worn it running, biking, hiking, walking, and swimming, while wearing it to sleep and work as well. It's a big watch that matches my wrist size well, and it's comfortable for extended wear, and it's wonderful to charge the battery up like once or twice a month and never even think much about it. I've always been a big fan of Garmin watches due to their extensive amount of customization of the workout screens and experience, and the connectivity to things like bike computers and other devices. The T-Rex 3 pretty closely matches Garmin, with support for multiple screens of data, custom data fields, active guidance during workouts, an AI coaching that learns and reacts to your stress, your heart rate, your sleep, and everything else to make your workout experience as rich as you desire. Swiping up from the bottom of the watch face also presents your favorite widgets with a morning brief view and more about the day ahead. Swipes and button navigation has been flawless on the watch. I encourage you to dive into all the details on the watch and get to learn the interface of the watch and the Zepp smartphone application as well. Now, talking about some of the pros and cons. I love the rugged design, the durable ratings and certifications on the watch. It's very affordable. I mean, how can you beat $280 for a rugged GPS sports watch, especially with that long battery life? And there's an extensive support for activities and customization of those data fields in those activities. And honestly, that Zepp Coach AI interface is great. If you're just wanting to set up a plan and have no idea and don't want to buy a training plan, use that Zepp Coach and it will come up with an excellent training plan for you. And also, there's advanced training and recovery metrics that are often found in flagship smartwatches that cost a lot more. There are some limited third-party apps in the App Store, but it's not as extensive as you might find in an Apple Watch or a Samsung Watch or a Pixel Watch. It is a bit heavier than competing watches, but to be honest, I like a big watch, I like a big heavy watch, and it didn't bother me too much, and it may not bother you as well. And as I mentioned multiple times in this review, it is available now for $279.99 or $280, which is a great price. If the T-Rex 3 is too large for you to sleep with, you can always pair it with the Amazfit Helio Ring. I have a smaller Helio Ring that only fits on my ring finger, and it consistently records my sleeping heart rate about 10 beats per minute less than the watch, so I need to get the larger Amazfit Helio Ring that fits on my index finger. But once you have that, you can wear the ring at nighttime to track your sleep and other metrics, and then wear the watch all day long to track everything else. And if that gives you the chance to charge up the watch during the night while you're wearing the ring, your watch will always have battery life available to you because it easily lasts through everything you throw at it for more than a day. The T-Rex 3 is a powerful GPS sports watch, and it punches far above its $280 price. It has a very long battery life, lovely, vibrant AMOLED display, support for MP3 downloaded music, an app store, offline maps, and more. The GPS is shown to be accurate, the heart rate sensor performs well, and the watch is powerful and capable. Thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe and share, interact with me here, and stay tuned for more coverage of various types of products. related to technology and mobility. And may the mobile force be with you.